Well, with Joe Cracknell, who today scored his first class 100. How does that sound?
Yeah, it's pretty surreal, to be honest. Look, it's obviously nice to get a personal milestone like that, but it wouldn't have been possible without the partnerships before with Lukey, a very good mate of mine, and Zaffa as well, and Roger at the end. So I was helped along the way, but yeah, obviously it's really nice to get that sort of personal milestone at the end.
When did you know you were playing?
I had a couple of days to stew on it, but yeah, it was a bit of a surprise that I was playing. But yeah, it's like with anything, when you get presented the opportunity, you've got to try and take it. So yeah, that's probably the most pleasing thing.
And it wasn't easy. You came in 5 wickets down, still not many on the board. You won the toss, and you have to rebuild.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we're saying out there. There was a sort of period where the spinners were bowling nicely, and we sort of had to soak up a bit of pressure, but we knew that once the ball got slightly softer and their boys got a few overs in their legs, it would get a little bit easier. That's kind of what we were telling ourselves: soak up a bit of pressure, and then try and cash in when we're both in.
There were partnerships, and they were key. Zaffa Gohar, particularly with Luke Holman, and then again with his skipper at the end. It was handy having them up the other end.
Yeah, exactly, and look at that makes my life a little bit easier, having those guys scoring as well and batting as well as they did. I don't necessarily feel the pressure all on myself, so that's probably been the key today. As much as I've got the personal milestone there, it wouldn't have been possible without those guys and those partnerships that created to get us into what's a pretty strong position.
Now, this is your 3rd century this week.
Yeah.
So you got plenty of practice in the 90s.
Yeah. It's funny. I looked at some of the boys on the boundary, and it looked like they're probably a bit more nervous than I was. But yeah, it's kind of one of those. Just been riding the wave, really. Just loving my batting, loving being out there, and just taking. It sounds a bit cliche, but taking one ball at a time, and not looking too far ahead or not getting ahead of myself. So that's probably been the recipe for what's been going on the last week or so.
I think that's what really impressed us when we were commentating and watching, was you and Luke Holman playing every ball on its merits. You didn't try and hit it if it wasn't there to be hit, but if it was, it went.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the surface. It kind of feels like on the front foot it's quite difficult to hit through sometimes. It's slightly on the slower side, so it puts more onus on when the ball's in your area that you really capitalise, and that's kind of the blueprint that we set out. And yeah, it was nice just to be there at the end.
Kookaburra ball?
Yeah, a good friend of mine now, I think.
and finally from me, congratulations.
Thank
mainly,
you.
But looking forward to tomorrow and carrying on.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we'll try and get as many as we can. Like with all these games, first innings runs are the most important. So with Toby in the morning, and then hopefully Helmy after, we'll see how many we can get, and then yeah, be ready with the gloves and supporting the boys from behind there.